Now, you'd be surprised to know that the Gemara in Masechet Chagigah says that 974 generations before Hashem created the world, He created the Torah. So the Chachamim ask, what is this number 974? Why not 100, 500, 1,000? What is this 974? Where did this come from? So initially, the Gemara says that initially, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was going to give the Torah 1,000 generations after creation. But He saw that the original souls that were going to come into this world were so wicked, and without Torah, they simply would lose their right to exist over and over again, similar to the generation of Noach. And it's simply the world wouldn't be able to continue. So instead of bringing them all into the world, these souls that were without Torah, in so many words, wicked souls that Hashem created them. They are bad, but from the tum'ah you could also get sparks of kedusha. This is a whole Kabbalistic shiur that maybe one day we'll have the merit to do. But the point being is, these types of neshamot, Hashem says that if I bring them all into the world, right away they'll destroy the world. So what do? I'll put them in every generation like seasoning. And every generation has some Erev Rav that is from those generations. And Hashem, what He did is that instead of giving the Torah 1,000 generations after creation, He gave the Torah 26 generations after creation, and gave, because the world wouldn't have survived any longer without the Torah. And but at the same token, to give it right away. Wasn't possible because there was no nation yet. No nation to earn it, no nation to want it, and so on. But these particular souls had to be spread throughout the generations and sprinkled like seasoning. And from them came many things that are bad, but also many things that are good. One of the Chachamim asks in the Gemara, why did Hashem create Edom? Edom, from them comes Amalek. Kadosh Baruch Hu knows that this Edom is going to destroy the Bet HaMikdash. It's going to be the ultimate enemy of Hashem. It's going to be Amalek. It's going to be Haman. It's going to be all the evil things in the world. Why would Hashem do such a thing? So the Chachamim say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the beginning, the middle, the end of everything. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu told us, what? I saw that from this Edom will be one day Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. And for him, it was worth it for me to create Edom. Meaning, Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes was so righteous, was so extraordinary, was so holy, that it's worth it to bring the enemy of Am Yisrael, the enemy of God, the Holocaust, the Inquisitions, the destructions. Why? For this one tzaddik. For this one tzaddik. That's how much Hashem loves the tzaddikim. So the point is that there are certain good things that came from Edom. Like Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes, who was a convert. His parents were converts. And of course, there are many other righteous people that came from Edom, such as Shmaya and Naftalion, were also converts. Rabbi Akiva, his parents were converts. His father was a convert. Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes, like I said, Ruth, the grandmother of Mashiach, the grandmother of David HaMelech, she was a convert. Yitro was a convert. All of these people came from foreign nations, many of them being the enemies of God. Many of them being enemies of God, not just decent people that ended up becoming more righteous. No, really, literally enemies of God. And but that's also because one of the klalim in the Torah that's discussed in the Zohar is that there are special super neshamot that the Satan holds hostage in his part of the world. He holds them hostage. They're not in this world. These are super neshamot. And he will do everything possible to keep these neshamot on his side of impurity. If that neshama, once it's brought into the world, it has special tendency to do certain things. If that neshama chooses the bad way, they will be the worst person in the world. If they choose the good way, they will be the biggest tzaddik in the world. And one of those people was Rabbi Chaim Vital. Rabbi Chaim Vital or Rabbi Chaim Volozhin? No, Rabbi Chaim Volozhin. Rabbi Chaim Volozhin was Rabbi Chaim Vital. Rabbi Chaim Vital. I confuse their names sometimes. They're two different Chachamim, lived at two different time frames, but for some reason in my head they're always confused. Anyway, Rabbi Chaim Vital, the Arizal first met him, and after he was in business, and he was he left the Torah world, and he actually learned different types of things to become very rich, which some Chacham told him that he was going to do when he was 13 years old. So he went to some Chacham, and that Chacham told him, you have a very special neshama. You are going to delve into money, and you're going to become very, very successful. By the time you're 20 years old, you'll be very, very rich with all types of things, and you're going to be tested at 23 years old. 23 years old, you'll have a path to choose. You'll have a path to choose. And this Rabbi Chaim Vital went and delved into business and was a very, very special person, very smart person, and actually learned alchemy. You'd be surprised that alchemy is real. He learned alchemy, he learned how to create gold, and he became extraordinarily successful. When he was 23 years old, he met the Arizal, who encouraged him to learn Torah and so on, and took him under his wing. And later on, he told him that one of the things that led the Arizal to invest so much into him is because he knew that his neshama was superior to everybody else in such a fashion that if he would choose to be righteous, then he would become Gadol Hador, the biggest, most righteous person in the generation, which is what ended up happening. If not, he would become the worst person of all generations. Not just the worst person of the generation, not just Hitler, but the worst person of all generations. That was the power of that special neshama that he had. So there are certain people that the Zohar Kadosh says that were prisoners of the Satan, that were freed, and in essence became very, very extraordinary people. One of them is Yitro, another one is David HaMelech. These were neshamot that were prisoners of the Satan. This is a part of the teachings of the Zohar and Kabbalah, but also different aspects of the secret part of the Torah also. But also, Midrashim and so on talk about it too, and different Chachamim. But point being is, Hashem creates everything. He creates both the righteous and the wicked, because these are all simply tools that He uses in the world. These are all tools that He uses in the world. So, for example, in Parashat Bereshit, when He says to the let us create man in our image, He's consulting with the angels, not because He needs their advice or He needs their opinion, but because the angels are His tools. They're His tools of how He manages the world. And that's what the Midrash Rabbah also talks about when Kadosh Baruch Hu talks to Avraham. He tells them about how He runs the world and how He is above nature. He is above all rules. There is no angel that can decide something that's against God. He can overcome and supersede all decisions, but nonetheless, He uses the angels and the nature and the different things that He has in the world as His tools to manage the world. And evil is one of those tools. Anti-Semitism is one of those tools.